Hello! Today I'd like to give you an overview of the Power Estimator and T&M Billing software for electrical contractors. I hope you don't mind a little background before giving you a quick tour. I am the designer and the programmer of Power software. I have over 25 years of software design, programming, and estimating experience. I hold a degree in electrical construction and maintenance. I completed my apprenticeship and worked as a journeyman industrial electrician with Eastman Kodak during their boom years. I later moved west, where I worked for years as a residential, commercial, and industrial electrical contractor. I've been involved with this software since its inception in 1987. The first copy was sold in 1991. There was little choice back in the 80s for electrical estimating software. What was available cost about $10,000. As an electrical contractor myself, I decided to create an affordable software program that would accurately speed me through the estimating and invoicing process. Over the years, this software has evolved with endless hours of work and from suggestions from contractors like yourself. A great effort was made to give you, the user, an affordable software program with an easy-to-use interface. Let's begin with a general overview of the Power Estimator and T&M Billing software. So at the very top we have menus, lots of features. Right below it are buttons such as going to, switching between different windows, going back, going forward. Customer database. It's a great database for your customers. If we want to make a new estimate, we would click here, create proposal, invoices, accounts receivable, statements, opening files, printing. Now let's get to what is at the heart of the Power Estimator and T&M Billing software. The electrical material database. This is where estimates and invoices draws the prices and information. And it's all stored here in the electrical material database. Now this window is broken up into two different panes. On the left pane is the Material Lookup Explorer. From here we can look up items and find them by category, by subcategory, or by a keyword search. So for instance here I type in the word box. Every item in the database that has the word box in it appears, and you'll see in the list view on the right that it moves to that item. If we double click on an item, we get a detailed view of the item, and this is a good time to describe what these different columns are. Wholesale cost is what you, the contractor, pay for an item. Retail is a great way to make a profit when you sell an item in an invoice. Labor hour unit is a decimal portion of an hour suggested for installation. UPC number is the Uniform Product Code. And from here we can look up items also. We can scroll, we can jump around, we can also go to different categories from here. We could search for parts by description, UPC, ID number. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions is, what is it? How do I change the prices in the database? How do I keep it up to date? Well, lots of ways have been built into the software. Probably the most accurate method, and the one that doesn't cost anything, is to manually change them yourself. And a great way to do it is by matching up an item from an invoice you get from your wholesaler. Find that item in our database and then change the price. So right here's the wholesale cost, 22 cents. It just went up 2 pennies. you'll notice the retail price automatically adjusted. All you have to do is adjust the wholesale cost. Now, it's really much simpler than it sounds. Consider that most contractors, how many items do you really use on a regular basis? And I've found over the years that really it's about 50 to 200 items that most contractors use on a regular basis. So it's really not that much of a burden to keep it up to date that way. And you know what? It's the most accurate method. When you go to your wholesaler, he charges different electricians different prices depending on what quantities they're buying at. Did they take the owner out to dinner? Had they been schmoozing the sales manager? Things like that, they make a difference, and you guys know that. So that's your most accurate method of pricing. Now, another great way that we have built into the program is called distributor pricing. So, you tell your distributor, I want a pricing file. You create a UPC list for him, and then from that, he can match up the items and give you a file. And then you load it in and it'll update the prices automatically for you. So that's between you and your vendor to get that going. Let's say your eyes aren't so great. So we have a zoom feature up here, 125%. So you can adjust things like that. Now, lots of you want to know about the estimating. So to create a new estimate, I click on the estimate button, and a new estimate window pops up. This represents one estimate. It is saved as a file. Power is file-based, so you can back up all your invoices and estimates, back up the database. You get a new computer. You can transfer the files to the new computer. It's a very good thing. You want it to be file-based. Absolutely. So we're looking at the estimate window now. Now you'll notice there's also a row of buttons and a row of tabs. This row of tabs are different sections. And you'll see that this is a blank brand new estimate. There's no work been done here. Also, in addition to clicking the tabs, you can click the sections button and move between the different sections that way also. Alrighty. Now we can create new assemblies and open existing assemblies into other bids. So you can kind of save up assemblies that maybe you've tweaked and are kind of special. There's various reports. My favorite is the quote request, and I'll show you that in a bit. We're going to just pop together a really quick estimate here. Now, let's say we need to estimate some wire and conduit and some receptacles and some other odd items. So I clicked on the wire and conduit tab. I click on the options button, and then I just tweak it. EMT with set screw, fittings for inside, 1 inch. Let's leave it at, it's going to run 100 feet. It's going to bend 3 times. I'm going to run 3 number 8 wires. And I want to assign it a job phase, floor 1. Job phases is a very powerful feature. It lets you break out phases of the job so that you can price them individually. You can have information and parts lists based on just the job phase. Then we click the Create Assembly button, and there's all our items. It automatically added in connectors and couplings, straps. Look, it gave us 1 lb. Remember we called for 3 bends? Well, it knows you can bend. You should be bending 1 inch conduit, right? Get out your bender. Now let's say you don't have a bender. Okay. Well, you can just change it to 3 if you want. But you do need openings every now and then, so it knew that, and it gave you the 1. Here's your wire. Let's say we want to add more equipment to this. So I click on the equipment, load centers. You know, I don't want a load center. I want a safety switch, a 2-pole 30 amp. And there it is. Alrighty. Let me show you the unit bid, because this is the most fundamental method of estimating. but it's still made very quick. This is perhaps, think of it as a big scratch pad of paper, but it's computerized. So if I right click, and that holds true throughout the program, you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So you get really good at this really quickly. Let's say I want to add in a bunch of flexible conduit. Notice they're all grouped together, and I'm going to run some aluminum with a connector and some straps and some other fittings. Boom, there they are. I just popped in 5 items in a few seconds. All I have to do is give it a quantity, and that's it. Okay, here, I'll give it some more. Let's go with 10, 5, 10. There we go. That's all there is to it. Let's say we need some receptacles. Once again, same thing. Click the options button. We need 12 receptacles. And we're going to run it with flexible conduit. Number 12. The average between receptacles in the wire is 15 foot of wire between them. The home run, let's run it in EMT. It's going to run 100 feet. There's lots of other features here. Let's assign it to floor 2. Create assembly, and there's all the items. You can tweak the quantities, change the prices, add more items. Now let's talk about something that's very important: degree of difficulty, labor hour units. Remember, labor hour units are a decimal portion of an hour, a suggestion of how long it will take. But degree of difficulty is very important for labor units to be accurate. Now, what I've learned to teach people is, think to yourself how long it will take. How long will it take me or one of my employees to install this? Ignore what you see. So right now it's suggesting 6.8, but ignore it for a moment. How long will it take my guys? You know, I think it's going to take them just a little bit longer. So we kick that number up, and now it allocates more to it. This number 80 is taking 80% of the labor hour unit that is in the electrical material database. It's reducing it. We can also kick it up if it's really hard work, okay, or just put it flat. This is at 100% is what the labor unit is listed in the database. So think how long it'll take, adjust it for difficulty, and there you go. You're going to get really accurate. Let's say we're done estimating. So we go to our bid summary. Now this is absolutely, you've got to know this, and you've got to know your cost, you've got to know your profit, and it's all listed here. Your costs, your profit, it's all broken out for you. Labor breakdown, here's where you assign your labor burden, which is cost per hour, how much you want to charge for the bid, and allocate the job between the different workers. In this case, it's the owner-operators doing 100% of the job. There's lots more features here. I'm just trying to give you a quick overview. And I'll tell you what, we are going to make a quick invoice, and then we'll sign off. Here we go. Okay. So here's an invoice. Time and material. That's time and material. So we did the job for big bucks. We pop their name in. We give it a little job description. Run conduit to roof. I'm going to right click here just like before. And I'm going to run some EMT again. So here's EMT conduit, compression fittings, straps, LBs. Bam, there's all my materials. Put in how much I really used. There's our materials. Now let's get our labor. We right click. Jack Sparks did the job. He worked 8 hours, and I have not updated how much I charge for Jack Sparks from the database. That's where it's stored, but here I changed it on the fly. We can type in anything and sell anything here. Can be a refrigerator if you want. Just type in a price. It all totals up. You can add tax. There's all kinds of options. Close it out to the accounts receivable so that you can track who owes you money. You can see who's paid you, who hasn't paid you, doing accounts receivable aging. Lots of features here. Wanted to give you a basic overview. Please download the free demo from jaffesoftware.com. Try it for yourself. Just knock it around, play with this, and look for the other videos. And I sure appreciate you guys hanging with me. I know you're busy guys, so get back to work. And this software will save you a lot of time. There you have it. Thank you so much.